Hey guys, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? For some reason, Zoom, I don't know what happened. Every time I come on, there's like a new screen. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you get anything from my work, an epiphany, a connected dot, a mind blown moment, new books to read, new authors to explore, artwork, oracle card readings, which you're going to do today. Below this video is a long, fun where you can find me, how you can support me. Check out my website, alleycatcreations.com, alleycatcreations211.com. Sorry, my brain is off. I got a new one. This is heavy. Pyramids, different gems, different shapes, different elements, keychains. Necklaces. You know, some of them are a little hard to see because the gems. There you go. So you can find all those things there. And if you'd like to purchase anything, I work with people. Email me. That's in the description as well. Hi, everybody. Spiritual soul advice. It's early today. Coffee needed, very much so. Oracle cards for later. So many of you know, because I blasted this all over the place, I had jury duty this morning, which you never know if you're going to be the one getting called, if it's going to happen. And so I wake up at 5 in the morning. My old time of waking up. Oh no, that's a lie. That was at 4. Get up, unfortunately, no little Thor short this morning. I put his food out on my deck and he ate. Didn't get to see him when I came back. I'll get to that in a minute. And got Morgan settled and got dressed and showered and off I went. And then I go into the building and I go through security and then I go to this big auditorium kind of thing. And they're just like, yeah, the trial's dismissed. Thank you for coming. Here, let me scan your shit and you get paid. Oh, great. Thanks. That was like no more than 10 minutes of my day. And I got sent home. Glorious. So I'm up, semi falling asleep. As you can see, my brain's not on yet. And I got urged to do a video. Upstairs was nudging me. Why? Growing up, a lot of my friends never understood me. They were my friends and acquaintances, and some of them became lifelong friends. And a lot of these people differ politically, and sometimes they differ in the way they view the world, which is great. You know, we need difference. We need people and places to bounce things off of. And they might not be the perception you hold, and that's okay. I think we need to understand before we get into a unity consciousness, we have to be appreciative of different points of views and perspectives, because yours might not be everybody else's. And it's good to have difference of opinion. Now, people attach emotionally to their feelings, emotional states. Like, this is right, and this is the only way it's going to be. And it's changing. Oh, it's changing, and it's glorious. Yesterday, I had a lifelong friend reach out to me who is on the opposite spectrum of the political movement that I'm from. And this person, though, I love to death, an amazing, amazing friend from back when I was in high school. We did some not great things to our bodies and things that we were kids and having fun and experimenting and exploring life. And I'm so proud of that person today. I'm going to put a pause. The person that I spoke to, I'm very close with, and they write poetry. Published poetry. And I dearly hold them very close to my heart. And whether it be spiritual, political, or any topic, any situation, when you respect other people's boundaries and you respect people, period, end of story, knowing that source, having an experience through them, even though you might be advanced in your knowledge, we're not here to wake people up. We're here to seed, so those who are meant to wake up will wake up, whether it be in a political paradigm, whether it be in a spiritual paradigm, whether it be just expansion of consciousness, period. Yesterday, renewed a lot of faith in those that I felt could have the possibility of waking up. Not necessarily to agendas, not necessarily to political things, because some people I just, you want to shake awake. Like, do you not see the wrongs in the world? And it doesn't matter what side you're on. Honestly, it doesn't. I lived in New York, so you can think, for the most part, a majority of the people I know and that I love and I'm very close with see the world completely different from me. I was always the black sheep where I lived, whether it be spiritually or political. But there is something changing, and it's beautiful. And I had this yesterday with my best friend. And I want to share this with everybody because you're going to come across this slowly. It's going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen for me just yet. I do have people that come to me all the time, but they're aware. They have awareness. They have curiosity. They're looking in the direction of like, well, why does she think that way? And people explore my channel, or they explore the things that I put out there in curiosity. Finally, someone I adore, different points of views on how the world works, but still the work that he's doing for humanity is incredible. And political systems aside, this is more on the spiritual. And I'm so happy that he chose me to come to. And many of you are going to have this exact thing, probably in different ways, different circumstances, but people are coming to you. We are the way showers. There are a lot of us. He's a way shower in taking care of the environment. So if I want to know how to build something structurally in a park, he works for the Parks Department in New York City. Like, he's the person I would go to. The ecosystem, whether you want to believe in what's going on in the climate, there's still people that have a lot of learned knowledge about insects and animals and ecosystems. He's the person I would go to. That's his way showing. He came to me asking me a lot of questions. I won't divulge a lot of it, but there's some things that I even said through channeling that blew me away a little bit. And I'm going to go find that. But we have to be humble. When we knew this was, some of us knew this was going to happen, we just didn't know when. And it's starting. Yesterday renewed a lot within me to know that I am on the right path, even though my outwardly self, the external world to me, is making me wait and be patient on work, career, financially being stable enough to continue doing what I'm doing. It's time consuming. You know, the government's not going to pay me to sit on my butt, and I'm not taking advantage of the system. That's not why I'm here. We have to be humble in how we approach people that are coming to us for answers or for an expanded knowledge of what we know. And how do we do that when there's so many people still calling the other side out in negative ways? It's one thing to have constructive criticism. It's another to bash somebody to bits and destroy them because you're this and you're that. And I'm right, you're wrong. There is no right or wrong. They perceive the world differently from you. They're entitled to that perception just like you're entitled to yours. Where is the common ground? That's where things need to be found, in the commonalities, in the neutrality zone, where we can make sense out of someone else's thoughts and build upon those thoughts and build upon the commonalities. We want to sit and point fingers and blame when in fact that's not really conductive right now. We're trying to build a unity consciousness. That means everybody in your soul tribe. And your soul tribe is mixed with different types of people, different political agendas, different spiritual agendas. When the movement that I belong to started, people were just in awe of all the things that were wrong in the world and all the research that has been done in the last couple of years. And I mean, most of us, I know for myself, I was awake to knowing that there was something not right with the government since I was a young kid, right? But now I'm more able to understand and learn what those things were and are and still happening now. We need to be humble. We need to have compassion and we need to have grace. This is the only way we're going to be able to move forward to create the world that we already wrote for ourselves. To be honest, this is my perspective. Some of the conversation that I had, we spoke about like what we believe in the reality that we are living in, which makes me happy that my friend is into this stuff and wanted my perspective. So I gave him a little bit. And when I was talking about, and then that came the channeling, we wrote, for my understanding and what I get channeled, we already wrote hundreds of millions of different types of timelines for ourselves. And no one is right or wrong. We always say we want the highest timeline for our greatest and our best, right? But In that meantime, as we're trying to achieve that timeline, there is no wrong timeline. Your soul, yourself, your everyday interactions, your everyday life dictates what timeline you are sitting in and how that story is going to unfold. It's like a book. You're writing your book, but you already wrote the book. It's choosing what page you're jumping on. So one day you wake up, you don't feel good. Not to say your vibes are lower, but that's the day that you write. It's the story that you chose for that day. You already chose all of this. Coming into cognition that you can go higher is the obtained goal for you to choose what next story night and narrative you're gonna run with. Some people are complacent, staying where they are, not changing, staying in the same old, same old. They're used to it. They don't like change. People like me kind of get forced. I force my story upon myself. I chose very wicked, hard catalysts to make those changes in my life. Whether it be working at the YMCA and going into anaphylactic shock, or not taking and losing my job and just about everything else. But within those major tower moments, the greatest catalysts of change took place within me. And regardless of what timeline I was on at those moments in time, it was going to happen anyway. Those catalysts were wrote in to override a lot of things because I wasn't on my highest and best. So universe steps in and shit goes down, and then I start elevating again. We're all on our own journey and our own paths. All of us rewrote this. The multiverse, the other selves having experiences are doing the same thing. They're all obtaining their highest and best timeline, and that there's no end date goal to that highest and best, because you're always shifting and merging forward up. Some people are merging down, whatever works for you. But we need to realize when these people come into our lives, it's because they're ready. They're ready to open up slowly. I tried very hard yesterday to keep everything at a neutral zone, not to stir any pots, not to, well, do you know what you did to yourself? Do you know doing that could really have hampered your ascension? And then I closed myself back, because that's not me to determine those things. That's sources. So we need to be cognizant of how we're projecting when these people do show up in our lives. When people come and they're just looking for a different perspective, and you're the one that has their ears and eyes wide open to listen to you. Whether it be from a text, whether it be in person, it doesn't matter. Have a moral high ground. Because when I'm in, everybody knows that I'm frequenting in a lot of chats, channels, and I'm just taking sometimes an analysis, and I'm stepping back and watching the chats and watching people converse, watching what's going on in the world. And we're still not where we should be in terms of respecting other people's expression that source is playing through. Whether it be the good, the bad, the ugly. We need to realize that we all have a role here, and everybody's playing their role. We need to understand that some people took a lot longer in this school to realize things are wrong or to realize something's off, or that they're just so interested in theory, not conspiracy theory, just theories, people that are expanding their thinking, bringing new ideas and new concepts to the world. We have to give these people grace. We have to give them the understanding it's their time now, and we have to be the ones to show them. But do it with kindness, unconditional love in your heart. I was devastated when I had to leave the comfort of the people that I love unconditionally. It was very difficult to have to go and do everything myself. And when shit hit the fan, literally, because of my choices, a lot of people burned me. And I know now, if and when they come back, it's what I wrote in, and I have to accept that. And that's what they wrote in for themselves. And now they're reaching out. So am I going to ignore them because they burned me at one point because they had a strong belief in something that I did not? I'm going to be there because that's my duty and my job and my role, mission, whatever you want to call it. I hate spam calls. Hang on. Sorry about that. So basically, this is a very, very almost half a day's worth of worth of stuff. But he came to me because of a dream that he had. And I kind of broke down a lot of that dream for him, which was really nice. And we got to discussing you know, my childhood, because he was a part of a lot of my like teenage, early 20s. And he said to me, typed it, that, he knew that my house was very spiritually active. He also said that, when we used to go out and have fun, I was very oppressed, which I know I was. And I explained it to him. I said, I knew coming into this life that things were going to be difficult. We came in with the veil, and I had partial veil to a lot of things, but I was able to see things that other people could not. And I'd never spoken about what the things that I've seen because most people thought I was nuts and that I was crazy. So I stopped talking about it, but that never really went away. It did when I got a little older, but he saw stuff at my house. He didn't understand what it was. And when I was out and about, he's like, something about when under the influence of things, right? That's stuff I'm not proud of. But going out and having some drinks, he's like, they were trying. And I'm like, yeah. That's what happens when light workers grow up without an outlet. Many of us drowned it ourselves out and try to go numb because we didn't know, this is what's going on with the children today. This is why I'm in the relationship I am in right now. The situationship, whatever we want to call it. Growing up, my parents, my adopted parents, didn't have a spiritual sense. They allowed me to do what I wanted to do eventually. They allowed me to seek whatever I was happy was sought out. They didn't mind. They just asked me to respect the home and not to practice anything in the home, which I wasn't practicing anything. I was just reading a lot of books. In saying that, I didn't have an outreach. The book selection at the bookstore was very thin and didn't have much to help me understand what I am. So I tried to numb myself out. Besides the hormones, besides my empathicness started exploding in my teens when the hormones started to kick in, and I was absorbing everybody else's energy, and I didn't know how to differentiate what was mine and what was someone else's. Didn't know how to shield my energy, didn't know how to stand and bubble, didn't know how to do any of that. And I got attacked heavily, not knowing that I'm the one that's holding the frequency from it affecting everybody else. So I explained this to him, and I showed him the map where the Stargate is and the proof. He goes, yep, that kind of makes sense. And honestly, he wouldn't have believed me 10 years ago. A lot of my friends knew I had abilities. A lot of my friends believed me, but most people need tangible, logical, rational sense proof. I got finally provided him some proof, and I showed him the Draco picture that I had, and he was like, Draco. Okay, so when that happens, right, he doesn't even need to be looking at me to know that I knew he made that kind of response with his body. Like, if someone's doing that to you, hold back. Don't overload them. I just said, where do you think the word draconian comes from? And I left it at that. Don't want to overwhelm people when they're first consciously expanding to things that they're not ready to explore just yet. So like the alien, I mean, most people are aware of that, and most people kind of have an understanding that we shouldn't be alone. And I wrote that Contact movie quote, be a big waste of space if it was just us. But what a lot of people don't understand, we were them and we are a part of the alien agenda. So I spoke to him about being a part of the Christic paradigm, my bloodline, finding that out and knowing that, yeah, I was attacked for a reason. It was all tests to see if I could persevere and pull through from the negative attacks, that I can withstand them and build my strength up and perseverance up to overcome the adversity that they were throwing at me. Not everything is what happens to you, it's what's happening for you. And when you let go of the trauma and you let go, and trust me, it's not fun reading those journals from when I was a child to say I saw the devil, or I saw demons, or I saw aliens. They're chasing me. I don't know what to do. And these are in my dreams, and I'm writing these things down, and I'm seeing them in person, in real life. Those are happening for me, not to me. Go back and look at your childhood and question what was for you, whether it be bad or good. Why did those things show up for you? Why were you able to see those things? it was not necessarily to scare you, it was to prepare you for what is coming and what's here already. If you're already exposed to it, you can help walk other people through it that are scared, live in fear, and are feeding the energy to the negative. So I kind of took a little, okay, like that's not a topic for today kind of thing. Um, I also gave him some books to read. Dolores Cannon is one of the, her work is fantastic. And, if he reads it, great. If not, great. He's like me, he has a lot of books, he's a reader. I said some good stuff. I'm like trying to find it because it's really long. I'll find it. But in the meantime, um, he's starting to get snippets of his multidimensional self, past lives, current concurrent lives. And he didn't know how to take it. And a lot of people are now starting to get these snapshots. A lot of people are doing it's happening more for people in dreams, but some people are, in meditation or cognizantly you're daydreaming and you get a snapshot of something and you're like, I don't know where to put it. And that's because the infinitude of your soul is drawing in all the fractals that you need and your higher self is coming into this vehicle. We are all at different points of this. I already went through this. The stage that I would like to talk about is I had the past life thing since I was a young kid. So I knew that I had a lot of lives because I had a lot of different snapshots. But the awareness as a star seed thing, oh boy. When you're not feeling like you're from here, you're only consciously experiencing memories from one paradigm of a fractal of your soul that had an experience on another planet. And then I see a lot of people doing this, and even myself, I was in the stage, it's very obsessive. Now you're looking into the aliens and the different star systems, and now you're listening to everybody's podcast, and you're trying to make an understanding of why you have the feelings that you do without the awareness that that's just a tiny portion of what your soul's experience is. Minuscule. It's just the remembering and the longing that you're having to those things. You're way more than you think you are. There's lots of entities, ethereal beings, high-end angels, guardians, whatever you want to call that. They're all working through you. They're having an experience through you. There's a lot of guides up there that you might never meet or you're going to ignore because you don't believe in stuff like that are always with you regardless whether you believe in them or not. They're always with you. It's energy. I also talked about that with him. bridging the gap between spirituality and science. Science needs to be rewritten because the construct that it was written under was false, in my estimation. People are proving some old theories wrong, and it's okay to be proven wrong. I would rather see us move forward in understanding what is reality than and having it proven through math and physics and having those theories adjusted for the right learning. If we're learning about Einstein, and I bring him up, I can't stand Einstein. There's a lot of reasons. And it's not because I hate him as a person. It's just everybody goes to him. When there was other scientists exploring different options and different things that got ignored and got shut out, this is what science does. If you got something too good or something they want to suppress, they're going to suppress it. Tesla is a perfect example of the suppression. It's all about this. And what is this? Books, textbooks, college courses. It's all a money grab. So we're talking a lot about the emergence of new laws and new theories and new discoveries happening within the science world. We who have a better understanding of what went wrong in our world need to just be taking that breath in as they are telling you, well, the earth is flat, the earth is round, the earth is this, the earth is that, physics is this, physics is that, quantum this, quantum that, right? It's their perception. And when you give them names of other physics theorists bridging gaps in some work, mathematics as well. They said to him, each density dimension has a different science and mathematics that it's bound by. Here, we're bound by ontological mathematics and quantum physics. Quantum is really now more 4D because a lot of us are already there consciously. So we're already moving forward and leaping giant bounds. We just need to be careful about what we are exposed to and what we use, and that's free will choice. The AI that is here and it's all over the place, it's being shoved down your throats now. My brain, even though it's a little defunct in the operating system and the dyslexia and everything else, I don't, as much as I would love to use AI to help me sound better on a resume or a document, I'd rather just be the fuck up and be my authentic self and let somebody read it for me and not a machine writing something for me. Because then it's not me writing it, it's a machine. I'd rather have grammatical errors and spelling errors in what I do, because that is a humanness. I'd rather be human than have something else do the work for me. Those tools are great for people who have traumatic brain injuries, people who are blind, people who are deaf. Those apparatuses and those programs are great for those types of people. But people are getting really lazy. They're not being creative in their words. They're not looking in a thesaurus to find different adjectives to describe something or better words to replace simplistic terms and words. They let a computer do it for them. Do you see the agenda now? When you can't think for yourself, Yeah, things are helpful tools and we should use it for the best and good to help, but not to overrun and control. And that's where we're in the boundary space right now. We're in the ping pong match. I don't choose to use that stuff, and nor shall I. Unless it's demanded to me to do it for a job or something else, I would prefer to be the human in this life. I don't know about you. Sorry, guys, I'm just reading. There was something I wrote that was super awesome, and I'm like, I gotta find it for today. We spoke about, and this is in, I have another friend that does this. He happens to travel a ton. So does my other friend. And they have affinity for places. They don't know why. They just go there and they feel the energy and sometimes have experiences there. Um, and I always prompt to say that either you had a past life there or your energy is tied there somehow, whether it be through the elements or through something you needed spiritually to have a journey, to be initiated into something with an experience attached to it. So we're talking about that and how much suppression has come in terms of giants, in terms of hidden architecture and ancient discoveries that we can't see because, oh, sorry, that part of the Grand Canyon's closed. It's dangerous. Well, no, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? That's my better question. What are you hiding over there? Like, why is certain places not opened to humans? Antarctica being another one. We have to question everything. And a lot of people now just waking up aren't, they're questioning, but it's, you let them ask. You then take the wheel in whatever topic they're interested. Don't burden other people with super tons of information that they're going to get lost. This is a slow walk, and now it's starting to happen. I've slow walked people who had the awareness, who were semi-awake, that understood like shit's wrong. Like, where is this narrative going? What is this agenda steering? And I would give them my insights, and they can do what they want with the information. But it's a blessing when they come to you, because that means they trust you and they know that you have an awareness of what they need to fulfill that thirst that's inside them and no one else can answer for them. I talked about the social memory complexes. Yeah, I talked a lot. But he was on that wavelength. It was great. Um I also talked to him about the negative polarity and to read the law of one to understand a little bit what that is and hermetic stuff. But even for the people here, we have to understand that a lot of what we know has been inverted for the other side. So the hermetic principles, the universal laws, tablets, a lot of the teachings have been inverted. It's now finding where the inversion happened and untransmute it. This is what a lot of you read. And well, ooh, where's the spin here? And you find it and you transmute it. But that the occult, they had to hide. These schools, being a part of Pythagoras's clan, hey Pythagoras, right? Those secret societies had to be secret because they didn't need the knowledge that they had, they knew was super powerful, especially the alchemists who knew how to perform physical material alchemy. They knew they had to hide everything so that the other side couldn't use it for the detriment of our planet. And some things are already found out and they use. And you could see it now playing out in the theater near you. A lot. Hang on, guys. So I was reading through a lot of this, trying to make sense out of some stuff. And I said each density is governed by a different structure of physics and mathematical equations. And I believe that to be so, because we're finding a lot of things moving forward. And then I talked a little bit more about the multiverse, why, and multiverse not necessarily meaning different densities, but also different densities. So why some people could see Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster and aliens and ghosts and different planes of existence. Why some people see the sky separate in two different colors. That has been more apparent in recent times. And they ask what's going to change with the paradigm shift. So there is an awareness to some people that there is going to be one. And I went into the modality of self-acknowledgement, self-awareness, how the Dolores Cannon split, keeping it simple, right? Because we want to, when someone comes to us with, well, what's going on? I didn't want to overburden him too much, even though he kept up with a lot of the conversation. I want to keep things simple. And I believe that when people come to us, that's something to keep in mind is keep things simple. Don't get too overcomplicated in explanations. If they want more, they're going to ask for it. Then you give it. We need to be aware that you don't want to lose people because then they're going to be disinterested. Or if, again, everybody's a little different when they take information in for the first time. Some people will go and dig and other people will just leave it at the door and say, this is too much for my brain to handle. Right? A lot of people also are still very attached to their loved ones and animals. And quote did channeling, and Brian Scott did it the other day. It's on dreaming, but there was something about animals in there. It's not just the topic, it's one little section that's on dreaming. He just chose that to put as a title. It's different questions within the channeling. It's the same thing with Ra. If you read the Law of One, our animals are a part of God and they're going to meet us. We're going to know their true selves. Just like we were once the animals, the rocks, the air, we were all of that too. We needed that experience. Everything is sentient. So we need to drop when you eat a carrot. You plucked it. It was once living. It's sentient. It's from source. Bless it and thank it for its service. But we were all of those things too. And the animals quote goes into what happens to the animals and when they pass, why they have short lives. It's a really fascinating. I recommend go finding him, Brian Scott, on the Reality Revolution on YouTube. So I went in a lot of that and how we're upgrading. And right now, a lot of us are either really exhausted or we're going through a lot of physical changes. I know for myself, there's a lot of change in coming into my chart. Astrologically, every oracle tarot card reading I listen to, and I don't listen to too many people anymore, but there's some I very much highly connect with. And everything is change, abrupt change, paradigm change. Um, I'm feeling the womanhood change very much so. I'm only 40, but it's starting for me. As highly annoying as it is, and painful, and I was looking into this the other day. Like, I'm not eating that much. I'm working out as much as I possibly can. Like, I dance when I'm making my epoxy resin stuff. I'm doing movements when I'm sitting still. I'm still like using resistance bands and stuff, and I'm not seeing anything drop off of me. So, reading into the changes, it makes sense why I'm having problems. Fun times. But we're all going through these changes. I'm going to pull some cards for all of us to see what is coming next for the collective. I wanted to bring the first part out because this happened yesterday, and I think what was discussed in the conversations, without divulging too much and keeping privacy, that we got to be very mindful of how we are steering other people in our information, how we're moving about our words and our intentions, how a lot of people did things that we were not for, and we thought they were a part of the other agenda, but in fact, that was their soul contract working for them, not for us. So we need to be grateful, graceful, and blessed and humbled that it's going to start. People are going to come to you. People you didn't think will come to you, will come to you. Be ready and be honest. Don't overwhelm. And make sure your biases towards what they are dropped. Because if I held everybody I know who politically is on the opposite side of the spectrum of me, and then I barfed all kinds of what I see. I mean, I even cracked a joke with him about my conspiracy theorist brain and how everything is coming true. But I knew he can handle that. Some people can't. So if you know the people, they're in your past, just you should know them to an extent. Everybody has matured. I would hope. There's some people that cannot handle a lot of that information, and we got to be mindful of that. You want to be helpful and you want to serve your purpose. Most of us are entering that purpose now. So just be aware of that. And I do sage my cards on a regular. I don't know which one to pick first. Okay. We have soul mating. I'm going to read this, but I want people see soul mating and things, and they automatically go to just keep your mind expanded, please. Embrace your soul to reveal a partner. A new encounter or a deepening of an already existing union will profoundly change the way you perceive unconditionally love. Chemistry between two people does not mean they are life partners. You have entered each other's lives to awaken, expand, and open your hearts so wide that they never close again. It may last for a moment, a season, or a lifetime. Time is not necessarily to shift the cogs of your heart and feel the absolute ecstasy of you. A moment can open you to euphoria. The purpose of a soul relationship is to mirror your love and light and melt away any hard edges or walls you have built. Whatever is mirrored will intensify. Love and peace will feel bigger, but so will fear or pain. This reveals any wounds that hold us away from love, so we can heal them as we embrace more of the love we already recognize. So they thankfully said this in this book. So your friends, your soul tribe, even an animal can be a soulmate. It's something outside of you that is connected and tangled to you that's going to mirror. So we're still in this healing time. Self-love, embrace it. If you want to move forward, you have to love yourself unconditionally. You have to exude that love to attract more, higher and greater things. So that soul mating is popping up for people. So look out for people at your job. Look out for your significant other might be waking up. We're here to hold frequency. We have a purpose, and a partner that isn't awake or aware is there in your life for a reason. And that might be something to heal from too, because I know a lot of people are like, well, my significant other isn't awake. Well, then, and they think you're crazy or whatever the case is, because I get this a lot. Go into your heart space and ask the whys. Why is this person in my life? What lessons have I learned from them? What am I imparting on them? What am I teaching them? Am I just holding space and frequency for them for when it is their time to wake up? It might not be right now. Focus on you, but ask those deep, harder questions because only you can answer those for yourself. Why do you have a person in your life? I know for myself that the situation, the Viking, isn't necessarily sleepy, but he is very sleepy in many aspects. He thinks I'm nuts half the time in a lovingly way. But my real role is for his children who are empaths, who are 12, and that are absorbing way too much energy from other people, and they don't know how to vent it out properly and harmoniously. Plus, they're very hormonal. It's the toughest age anyway for any of us that went through childhood, right? Your teens were preteens, teens. It wasn't pretty. It isn't pretty. A lot of emotions, still developing a sense of self, still developing vents, healthy ones, still developing a lot of things in the brain. I'm there to steer them as much as I possibly can. So I know why I'm in the relationship and that I'm in. Ask yourself, there's a lot of healing that people need to do when it comes to that. So I highly suggest to look into the whys of your situation. Why am I single? Why am I by myself? Why did I choose that? And ask yourself, go deep into that healing. Sometimes I was alone for a very long time, and I'm okay if I am alone. It's nice to have help, but I take life differently now and I look at it way differently since I've healed. My favorite thing I do all the time, channeling. Experience your stream of consciousness. You have the ability to tune into different streams of consciousness to gain wise information for healing and expansion. Channeling shifts your awareness so you can stream information from various frequencies. It is just like tuning into a radio station. If the information doesn't agree with you, tune in to something different. You can't expect to hear rock music on a classical music station. With practice, you will be able to tune into your soul's transmission easily. You have focused a part of your stream of consciousness upon the earth plane to experience life in new and varied ways. Your soul loves you so much, it always is transmitting this love and truth, even when you have forgotten. So, where are you tuning into? What radio station? A lot of us, I know this was very hard for me to take in at first because I didn't know where a lot of my channeling was coming from. And it, when people brought that out, well, you're channeling and the devil has you and this entity and these bad things are coming through you. It took me time in meditation to attune my vibratory state with my higher self. It took time. I catch myself channeling cognizantly to people because I wouldn't shut the F up. My friend Katie could attest to this. I would be at work and I would just throw up words and not remember anything that I was saying. It was just coming out of me, a stream of information that someone in that room needed to hear, and I went off. And I didn't realize until I stopped myself and someone asked me to repeat what I just said and I couldn't. And then when I asked a couple of intuitives and other channels, they are like, oh, you were channeling. And then I would ask them if they can intuit who and what I was channeling from. So that freaked me out. I questioned a lot back then. And you're like, oh no, you're channeling your higher self, but you got a lot of archangel guides and other high-ended guides who are flowing through you, but they're fighting to get through you. So I had to do a few meditations to tell my guides to chill the F out. And can you all work together in harmony, please? And when you want to come and deliver a message through me cognizantly as I'm talking, like you got to calm your frequency down so I can recall and remember a little bit of what is being said through me. I'm in control. And I had my higher self like yell at them in a nice way. But a lot of you have to, who feel that you are, I mean, we are all channels. I hate to say that, but we are. It's not hate to say it, but a lot of people don't realize they are. It took me a while to realize that I was, and that I was doing it cognizantly. And then, people brought it to my attention that I talked in my sleep, and I talked, not mumbles, like full-blown conversations in my sleep. So I have done that in my sleep a lot. So just be aware of where you're tuning your frequency at. Especially, for me, I was relaxed earlier. I'm like, I had a great day. Just walked into a place, showed them my little summons card. They scanned it and like, all right, go home, have a great day. I was not dreading it. I don't feel too hot. My body is not happy with me right now. And I'm not comfortable. Let's just say that. So I didn't want to sit in a spot all day long. You're not allowed to have your phone in the building. There's a lot of other requirements that they ask you to do. And I was just like, I was feeling it when I got called, but I don't feel good. I don't want to be here all day. I want to be home resting. Ta-da! It's just great. By the way, it's amazing. I don't mind doing my civil duty, but I would like to feel okay doing it, especially when you're not comfortable. You just don't want to be out. So yeah, right now, see upstairs, they're working on me. So see, they're channeling me right now, and they're like, and they're doing this battle with who's going to talk first, kind of thing. It's funny. What they're bringing to my attention is tune into that soul mate, whether it be a friend, your soul tribe. Tune into their frequency. When you're trying to figure out that there's a lot of changes going to happen in paradigm with people. A lot of people you thought were your tribe were still your tribe, but they might be focused somewhere else. We're all emerging and we're all changing, and we have to be prepared for change, whether you like it or not. It is here, it is incoming. Be on guard. So a lot of people don't like change. I kind of don't like it either, but I've seen every time I made changes to my life, things got better. And there's no wrong path to walk, because it's all meant, you wrote those paths, right? Give yourself grace, but realize, tune in to someone Are they free? Is their frequency being reflected by you, or are you accepting their energy? That's what upstairs is really wanting to get, that why those two cards came out. We need to align with somebody in the heart space. And it's okay if someone's just there for a moment in your life, or a little bit of a season, a few months, and then that person fades away. It happens. Thank the experience. They taught you something, or you taught them something. You took something away from them. Not literally, but like a lesson or something they needed to give to you and you needed to give to them. Be thankful for those moments and understand when things are not meant to be. Maybe later down the road, communication gets better and things get back to where they need to be, or they don't. Just give it grace, let it go, release it, take in what you learned, take in what you gave. Peace out. Spirit wasn't mincing words right there. I don't read the order that they come out. I want it to come out to make sense. Inner secrets, all of you is worthy. Especially when we're moving into unity consciousness, there are going to be no secrets, which shouldn't have any judgments attached to secrets. We should be able to walk in our authentic voice and learn how to word things where there are no secrets. All of you is worthy. Life lessons, acknowledge and release for renewal. So I was just saying that a while ago. Go back and ask your deeper questions. Why was I born to this family? Why did I have that experience? Why did that accident happen to me? Why did I have so many shifts in my life? Why? Now, heal those things and move forward. What can I do to make my life better? What can I listen to feel better? What can I watch to feel better? Take what you already have gone through and acknowledge the lessons you have learned. Apply them to the here and now moving forward. Okay, these two are just as powerful. Expression, express your truth. So just like I did with my friend, I wasn't holding back, but I wasn't overburdening somebody with my truth. I just expressed my perception and interpretation of the things that I get. He shared what he got. And I dance the linguistic dance and the information dance with him. If he is interesting, I'll feed more of what I know. But I'm not going to, you put a little tester feeler out there, and I did that with the alien stuff. Wasn't catching on, so I took a leap back and we shifted the conversation. These are dynamics of things that we need to learn how to do, and it's going to take time, and don't be afraid to engage in those conversations. The time is now. It's here. Our purposes are starting. So wherever you are on your journey, just have those things in mind. I think it's very important. Have purpose. Your journey is worthwhile. Why? Because we're here for humanity. We're here to help. Even the people we thought were against humanity, we're here to help. No discrimination. Even for people that are like, I don't know what my purpose is. I still don't really know what my purpose is. I have ideas and I have a bigger understanding of my greater purpose, but that ain't right now. That's like down the line in my life. That's just like another 10 to 25 years from now. Right? Like, what is it for me right now? What do I need to be doing? And I'm an Aries, so I have to know, right? But I have to give it to the universe and surrender. I don't like it. I don't have to like it, but I have to deal with it. Right? And there's a lot of people who instantaneous gratification. It's not how the laws of the universe work. Sometimes they did. Like today, I was not expecting to be sent home. I didn't have the expectation. And so I was thrilled. They only want 3 from here. Dream big. Dream with your heart. Be clear on what you want. Put action to your goals. Make them reality. So these 2 cards, dream big and be clear on what you want. And this is telling you when you put action into motion, you start creating the reality that you want. Because you're putting actual locomotion and you're putting the energy field in around you to attract bigger and better things. When you dream, you have the will of intention. Will puts out waves of frequency. You have a toroidal field, you have other fields. You have energy all around you at all times. Utilize it for your betterment, not for your detriment. Everything is as you've created. All you create offers your lessons in life. So we are the playwrights, the writers of our life. My camera's doing it again, isn't it? It is. Almost had cards fall. Hang on. Much better. Enter the temple of your truth and learn to value it. Stop doubting. I know a lot of people that still doubt themselves, their abilities, and what comes out of their mouth. Stop doubting it. Flames of desire, let them shine out in radiant light and shun dark paths. What do you desire? And what are you radiating out? Are you being lured to the dark? Or you're going to light your path? Choice is yours. The time for romance has come. See it as an opportunity for a radiant life. So here again, soulmating. Not everything needs to be romantic. And take it for somebody that was alone and has, I detach a lot of things. Are you in a relationship with yourself? Do you love yourself? Are you happy and harmonious? Are you taking care of your needs? You can only make yourself happy. You can only put yourself in a place that your reactions and your vibration are matching someone else's. You don't need to match anybody else. You need to match yourself. Radiate that light and you will attract. If you're single and you want somebody, not everybody wants others in their lives, but that's not to say you can't attract friends, you can't attract animals, you can't attract better opportunities and situations, but you got to love yourself first and do that healing. Awaking the magic of your creativity, immerse yourself in the world of feelings. Especially a lot of you who are having these dreams, whether they be snapshots, whether you are in a vivid dream, make sure you have a journal, a scrap of paper next to you, that you're taking all these things down. Make sure you have a way of getting that dream vivid snapshots down. They're going to help you. They're going to help. I had a lot of dream journals as a child. Used to dream vividly all the time. Boy, I'd rather be in those as a child than what I had and a few of us had to go through as adults. Vivid dreams of fights, fighting the war upstairs, seeing your light body in its true form. It's major. It's a shock. And then waking up bruised. I didn't wake up bruised as a kid. Even though I was attacked and oppressed, I had protection. I had to learn not to fear some scary, creepy looking entities. Based on that creativity, originality, the frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique, original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. So I'm going to say this with a lot of love. Being an artist, we like to draw inspiration or an idea from what other people are doing. So Jackson Pollock used to do the splash paint on canvas art. And now a million people are going around doing the pours, the different acrylic pours and using different things to get all psychedelic looking stuff. And which is great. And it is original because whatever comes out is unique to its oneself. No one's sitting there and copying a Mondrian or copying a Basquiat. People are being original in that sense, but are you doing what everybody else is doing? Try to find something that only you can do. Whatever comes to your mind. Very few people nowadays, because everything is just given to you, are sitting there to think what I'm putting on this canvas. And the same thing with poetry, music. How can you do you originally? And yeah, you can pull from other inspirational things, but make it your own. So the example would be if I see a painting and there's a color in there that screams at me and it's unique and it makes everything pop out. Well, maybe I could take that color and use it in my painting somehow. That's not stealing an idea. That's not taking what they already put there. It's taking something I like from there and making it my own, whether by using a color, whether it be using a shape. Just be mindful of where you're getting your source creativity from. And yes, you're pulling it from the ether, but most people that are doing a lot of these, even the epoxy stuff, right, is the best example. Yeah, a million people make organites. I didn't look at other people's organites. I just started making them. I just had the mold and I just start throwing gems and metals and whatever comes out of me as I'm healing and cleansing these gems and putting them in my hands and dropping them in the mold. I do it very unique. Other people do different techniques. I still try to not look at anybody else's stuff. The same with those. You could take something that's already been done and make it your own. Molds. I didn't make the molds. Someone else made them, but I put and choose what I want in them. We got to be mindful of our creativity. Freedom. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. Is your soul singing freedom? That's a good frequency to figure out. You can also be creative with your words. Playful. So that person that comes to you for advice or just looking to have a conversation and opens up your ear to go, oh, something I'm into. Okay, let me be crafty with your words, but also be aware of the spell casting that is made every time you speak. Full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches, coming to a theaters near you. Playing out now. Climax is incoming. But in the meantime, before that climax hits, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Release it, let it go. What are you not releasing? What are you holding on to? Ask yourself these questions, write them down, talk it out with yourself. The only way you're going to improve yourself and make the changes you need to move forward is to ask those hard questions of yourself. Talk to yourself. What are you being stuck on? What do you need to work on? We all need to work on stuff. I'm always working on myself. There's always things I unconsciously bring to the surface, and it pops up and I'm like, oh shit. Healing doesn't ever end. It is a continuous process. No matter what density, no matter where you are, healing is constant, just like learning. There's always a layer of the onion that we forget to unfold. So keep unfolding it and unfold and peel those layers back. And give yourself grace and compassion if you can't confront those things just yet. Right? Something brings you great trauma and fear. Sometimes it's not the right timing to practice those things or to heal them. Soul lies here in your heart space. Grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. A lot of us are being asked to do this because our worlds are shifting, and a lot of us need to adapt to what's coming, and that's a lot of change. So I've been surrendering to the universe as to taking this big leap. Another one. I already took one last year. This is another leap I'm going to have to take. Many of you have to do the same. What will be changing in your paradigm is for your best. So surrender to it and take that leap of faith. Beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. So once you take that leap, once you know what that change is, build a foundation around that. Because that's going to help us emerge into this change, into this new world, into this paradigm to help other people. We need to have a solid foundation first. If we don't have one, we're not going to be able to help everybody the way we would expect and want of ourselves. Giraffe spirit, see the big picture. So you take that leap, take everything into consideration. Take all the changes in the bigger picture, look at the grander picture of it all to see where it all fits and how that foundation is laid. White raven spirit. Trust in the magic. Trust. I have an affinity for ravens. I have Hugin and Munin or Mounin. Depends how you pronounce it. Hard stuck on my desk. Goes on with that. I hope everybody's having an amazing day today. I know this is a long video, but a worthy one at most, at least from Spirit's perspective. Because what happened to me is going to happen to a lot more people, that people are going to come and ask you for advice or what you think. And we got to be prepared for any and all responses. And how do you do that calmly and remain in your sovereignty and your freedom? And have compassion towards the other people that are now coming and seeking. That you thought they were against you and they hated you. And in fact, now they see the truth, but it's not about pointing fingers, by the way. Inner child. Nurture your inner child and begin to express the awesome beauty and hold awesome beauty you hold within you. We live in a world where a formula exists for everything, yet love and creativity have no formula. They do not need to be studied, simply nurtured. Regularly set aside time to just play. Affirmation. Be aware of your language and thoughts. The most powerful statement you can ever make, think, or feel is thank you. Be grateful for all the blessings in your life. As we acknowledge the divine order of life, the universe responds with ever greater blessings. You are a powerful creator. All you say and think resonates through the heart of creation, and creation responds back accordingly. There's nothing to say to that. Prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me to be flexible in my attitudes and beliefs. Help me not to fear the transient nature of life. Help me to remember the eternal light, which emanates from my soul, and the eternal light which emanates from the heart of every living thing. Help me to remember that I am eternally guided and loved by God and all creation. So we need to stop being hypocrites in chat, spewing hate. Remember, we're not creating their reality, we're creating ours. You got to see the God in everything. And even though they're doing heinous, horrible things, you condone it and you don't look at it and you don't feed it energy. But when you feed it energy, it's by hate. It's by the vibratory state of your existence saying, I hate these people and that people, blah, 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 blah. Placing blame for on God having an experience through them, whether it be good, bad, or the ugliest experience. Detach. Stop paying them too much energy. It's a waste of time. Because that means you're not focused on yourself and other people that do better for humanity. You're focused on what they're doing and you're feeding them their reality. And it's being created by you. Don't be a participant in that, please. Aspiration. It is time to set your sights higher. If you are settling for the mediocre, aim for the superb. Stretch yourself to fulfill all your potential and hold mighty visions. Find the wisdom within you, which enables you to aspire to great and glorious. Then expand your comfort zone so that you can explore your dreams. The angels guide you never to settle for less than your incredible human spirit can achieve or deserves. Ask for help from the angels, and they will guide and inspire you to raise your consciousness and live at a higher level. Let your spirit soar and aim for the divine. I don't make this stuff up. Kindness. In order to be kind, you must open your heart to the gentle qualities of caring and passion. Be kind to yourself. Have reasonable expectations and give yourself due praise. In order to nurture the gentle qualities of kindness, cherish yourself. When you do something for yourself, you automatically extend that energy to others. Kindness melts barriers and ice around people and re-empowers those who are afraid. So reach out to the lonely, draw out the shy, include those who feel isolated, and comfort the sad. Your rewards will be a sense of inner peace, warmth, and love. Just like the conversation I had yesterday. I wasn't too thrilled with what a lot of people in my back in Staten Island said to me. I was going to kill them because I didn't do something that everybody else was doing. I never followed that trend. I tick to my own talk, and I always have since I was a little kid. I'm not conforming now. There is no way. And I never conformed. I don't fit in anywhere because I am my unique expression. I'm seen and looked at differently. I'm interpreted and misunderstood all the time. It's a part of my journey, but it's also a part of a greater teaching that Source had put me in this body for a reason. It's so that other people, I'm a test to see where their judgments and biases are, and if they're going to look past it or they're going to accept it and embrace what I am, which is a part of them. They just don't know it. So just be aware, many of us are tests for other people. It stung when I first realized that, because I asked, outside mediums, and then I asked my higher self, like, why am I like this? Why am I viewed so differently? Why am I not respected the way it should be? Like, I don't get it. Why am I treated like a child and spoken to like a child when I'm way far into, and at the time I asked was in my mid-30s, and I'm a test. And once I understood that and I accepted it for what it was and why I'm so different, and a lot faded from that angst and why people are looking at me that way. Well, no, I'm a test. And if they pass, they get a good person out of me. They get a loyal friend. If they can't see past my exterior and they don't see the inside, bye-bye. Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. Just talking about this. You need to know your worth, even when others don't. You are not what people think of you. I don't make this shit up, guys. I know people think they do. Like I sit here and mull through all the cards. I don't know really. I get a topic that I want to speak on or an experience that just happened, and I like to talk it out with everybody and give you my insights on what I received. I don't sit and look through every card in every deck to pick out. This is spirit. Make today your new beginning. Try to leave any past mistakes in the past. Don't allow them to weigh you down any longer. Move forward today with the confidence and knowing that you have better and brighter days ahead. Mistakes are just lessons to learn from. You put those mistakes there. You make mistakes because you're supposed to learn from them. See them as a opportunity to grow and not something of a detriment. A lot of people do that. So just be aware of it. Before I pull the last card, I want to read this meme I found. It's not through healing that you will love yourself. It's through loving yourself that you will heal. And that's the truth from my perspective. It's good. It's a good one. I never pronounced this right. And I think I broke my chair. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways, which contribute positive energy to our human collective. Obdire is a Latin phrase, the Latin basis for the word obedience. Far from conforming to authority, the original meaning was to listen, to hear, and not to turn away. The oracle of Obdire is about becoming a sacred rebel, giving up faith in the ways of the world and embracing the ways of the spirit unconditionally. That means refusing to torture yourself with horror stories that society and your own mind conjure up from time to time. This guidance is encouraging you to connect through your heart with the spiritual light, wisdom, and guidance within. The oracle asks you to believe in the power of spirit to show you the way through all troubles. There is a message from our loving universe for you. You will feel it in your own heart. You may consider yourself to be feisty, independent, strong person rather than one who is docile and surrender in spirit. A vibrant and powerful personality may feel initial resistance or confusion when asked to become soft to the ways of spirit. Yet this sort of obedience is not about giving away your power or becoming someone you are not. When you are receptive to spirit, we become more unique, not less. This oracle asks us to get out of our own way. Often we make things more difficult for ourselves, even when our intentions are good. This is because we see things from a limited or partial perspective. That doesn't mean we should refuse to act at all. It just means that as we practice sensing and following spirit by tuning into the heart, we will act from a more central and wisely guided place. Our actions will be more likely to hit the mark. When we flow with the greater wisdom of life, far-reaching positive consequences awaken. Recognizing that spirit is wiser than your own personal opinion is prelude to true awakening. The more awakened we are, the more genuine benefit for all beings can unfold through our endeavors. To be clear, the guidance of this oracle is not to hand over your power, nor to seek out spirit to tell you what to do. It is always up to you to exercise your free will and live your life as you choose. Sometimes the responsibility behind such freedom might seem too much, but this is our task as human beings, to own our freedom and exercise it with wisdom and delight. When you trust your courage more than your doubt, you will be ready to listen to spirit and act on what you perceive. You will be capable, willing, and ready to live as a light on this earth. You are also encouraged to ditch the drug of doubt. Doubt undermines your confidence and sends you on a mission to gain approval before making every decision. Approval can become the hit that alleviates doubt temporarily, but it prevents you from building the strength you need to listen for your own spiritual knowing. You have it within you to be spiritually sovereign. This oracle asks you to recognize your inner potential and to practice trusting yourself and your capacity to respond to life's unpredictable happenings with soul honoring integrity. Wow. That's really good advice. And I have to take that myself. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my chit chat, coffee, cards, and just discussion. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, protecting, and shielding energy. Please be safe, be seen. Stand up, stand in your authority, stand in your authenticity. Remember not to overburden people that are coming and waking up and have awareness and they just want further inquiry. Give them your take. And if they ask for more, feed it. Don't truth barf over all of that. Time is here. Are you working on you? Are you taking in the lessons you need to be taken in? Are you doing the healing? Spirit brought it again, once again today through the cards. See the bigger picture. What do you want for your life? Doesn't matter what age. We have to focus on us now, not on what's going on around the world. It's great. It's a great distraction. But if you're not doing the work on yourself, we need the light and we need your frequency. And it's very important to focus on what is going on in you, not outside of you. We have to create our reality now. Are you doing the work to do that? I hope so. Because a lot more people are waking up. And instead of feeding the fear, and instead of feeding their agenda, the negative entities, the thought forms, the polarity, what are you feeding? The light. And with that, guys, I hope to see you guys on the next one. I'm going to relax. I was up really early this morning and I have some reading to do and some drawing to get done and pouring to get done. But until the next time, guys, I hope to see you soon. And thank you all for supporting my channel and helping me grow. Hopefully Little Thor comes back later and I can put him on YouTube. Until the next time, guys.